Yahoo World Soccer 2010, the World Cup Pick'em Tucson Red Carders group. The quarterfinals have ended in Tucson Red Carders and World Cup action. The semifinals kick off on Tuesday. So we just want to let everybody know that you have from now until 5 minutes before the games on Tuesday. But those games are pretty early on Tuesday, so you're going to want to make sure you get those picks in probably by Monday night. So Monday night is going to be when you're going to want to make sure you have your picks for the two semifinal games that start on Tuesday and Wednesday. Just 4 games remain in the actual tournament. The 2 semifinals, the third place matchup, and the championship are all that's left, but still a lot of points left to be picked up. Since we last spoke on Sunday, round of 16 action actually wrapped up Monday and Tuesday. On Monday, Netherlands knocked off Slovakia and Brazil beat Chile. And on Tuesday, Paraguay beat Japan in penalty kicks and Spain knocked off Portugal. So that wrapped up the round of 16 play and set the table for the quarterfinals, which were held Friday and Saturday. On Friday, Netherlands with a huge comeback win over Brazil. Brazil was up 1-0 at the half. Netherlands had 2 unanswered goals in the second half to pick up the win, and what some would consider a huge upset. On Friday also, you saw Uruguay knock off Ghana in penalty kicks. A late handball by Uruguay actually saved the game for them, forced the game into penalty kicks where Uruguay was able to prevail. I believe it was 4-2. On Saturday, Germany blanked Argentina 4-0. The Germans just put everything they could get into the goal. Argentina was embarrassed. And Spain knocked off Paraguay in a wild game. Spain actually scored a really late goal to take the 1-0 lead, and that was all they needed. But both teams were able to successfully block penalty kicks late in that game. So very wild game, but Spain was able to advance. So remember, we're only going to have 2 games in the semifinals and then a third place game and a championship game left. So let's take a look at the standings as things are starting to wrap up here with just 1 week remaining in World Cup action. With the success from the quarterfinals, Broken Ankle was able to leapfrog into first place with 103 points, a 5-point lead on second place. Broken Ankle was perfect in the quarterfinal round and also picked 1 score correctly. Now has 31 games picked correctly and 9 scores correct. That 9 scores ties for the league lead in scores picked correctly. Second right now, Greek Thunder. Thunder has been near the top of the standings the entire tournament. Has 98 points, just 5 points out of first place. Third place right now, Orange Power Dutch are clutch with 91 points. The Showstopper with 90 points in fourth. Fifth is Glory Glory Man United with 89 points. Sixth, Arsenal US with 88 points. Seventh is This Spot Reserved with 86 points. 8th, I Love Foosball with 84 points. 9th is Who Will Be Headbutted This Year with 83 points. This team has the biggest leapfrog in the standings since round 1. This team was 18th after group play, we should say. But after the postseason began, this team came to life, has jumped from 18th to 9th in the standings, leapfrogging 9 teams. And rounding out the top 10 is Stupid Mexico with 81 points. Now, looking at just the top 10 here, 3rd to 10th is separated by just 10 points. And as we move to the later rounds here, the semifinals, each game could potentially have 12 points up for grabs. So there's 24 points available in just that round alone. So a lot can still change for the top 10. Rounding out the rest of the field, we got a really close battle there for 10th. Stupid Mexico has 81 points, but 2 teams are just within 2 points of Stupid Mexico. Otis and the Drunks Do Soccer sits 11th with 80 points, and Football sits 12th with 79 points. So those 2 teams are definitely knocking on the door of the top 10. Then 13th, we have Keeper for Life with 75 points. GOAL sits 14th with 73 points. This team has taken the biggest tumble in the standings since we left group play. This team was 2nd in the standings after group play, has fallen all the way to 14th. That's a 12-position drop for GOAL. 15th is Kaká with 71 points. 16th, Dizzy Lizzy with 65 points. 17th is Yellow Card with 62 points. Interestingly, though, this team is tied for most scores picked correctly with 9. This team has only picked 18 games right, but picked half the scores right in those games. So a remarkable stat there. No other team has come even close to picking half their scores right. 18th is Pipsqueak with 18 games correct. Has no scores picked correct so far in the tournament and has 54 points. 19th is Rooney with 53 points, and a distant 20th now. And wrapping up the field is London Tea Party of 2010 with just 36 points. Can only score 84 points. So the bottom 3 teams cannot win the tournament, but technically everybody else from 17th on up can still win this thing. So a lot of points still up for grabs. Moving on ahead in the tournament, the semifinals are going to be held Tuesday and Wednesday. One game on Tuesday, one game on Wednesday. Remember, you get 8 points if you pick the game correct, and an additional 4 points if you get the score correct. So 24 points are up for grabs in the next round. Then you have your third place game, which is going to be held next Saturday. 6 points if you get that game right, and 3 if you pick the score right. And the championship game, the World Cup final, will be held next Sunday. That game is worth 10 points if you pick it right and 5 points if you get the score right. So there's 15 points left on the table in just that game. So a lot can still happen all across the standings. It's still anybody's match, really. And we hope to see you back next Sunday as we'll be wrapping things up in the Tucson Red Carders group and tell you who came out on top in the Tucson Red Carders group.